How's it going, everybody? Spencer here with another video, because I apparently cannot just sit down, shut up, and review Shin Megami Tensei V, so I decided to do something a little bit different. Since the game is almost out, and I can't really talk about the game, I figured why not talk about the DLC. So, obviously we've talked and reacted on the channel and the podcast about the DLC, but this video I wanted to make, it's kind of like a standalone. I did it for Nocturne, I did it for Strikers, so let's sit down, look at Shin Megami Tensei V, and decide which DLC is worth it and which DLC should you skip out on. So, right off the bat, SMT5 has two editions you can buy. There's obviously the $60 edition that you can buy physically or digitally, but there is a digital deluxe edition that does come with all of the DLC for an extra $25, at least in US dollars. Your local currency may vary, but for $85 in America, you get the base game and all of the DLC. So if you are someone who does want to have it digitally and just wants to get all of the DLC bundled, that's an option. Unfortunately, there is no DLC bundle available at launch, so if you are wanting to get all of it and you have the game physically, there's no one-and-done kind of complete bundle set. So, going in no real particular order, I'm going to start off with probably the least exciting DLC, and that is the free stuff. So at launch, there will be two pieces of downloadable content that are free for America. You can download the Japanese voice track, and that is basically going to just give you the Japanese VO in the base game. So if you buy the game physically or digitally at launch, that is only with the American voiceover and all the other English, French, Italian, German, and Spanish subtitles. There's no Japanese VO until you download that day one DLC. This one's obviously going to be up to you. If you want to experience both sides of the voice acting and switch it out, it's nice to have, but if you're someone who just wants to kind of save on memory for your Switch, you can just leave it out and you're not going to be missing out too much because, hey, spoilers, it's a pretty good English dub. Second piece of free DLC is the safety difficulty. So, if you are someone who was looking for an easier mode, because, also, obvious spoilers ahead, Shin Megami Tensei V is a pretty challenging game, there is the safety mode, which is basically, I would say, easy. So at launch on the game, you have casual, normal, and hard. To give it a little bit of context, think about it like this. Casual is not really easy. Casual is a pretty normal experience compared to other RPGs. Normal is what you would kind of give to an experienced player of these sort of games. And hard, it lives up to its name. It's very hard. So safety is just going to make that even easier. We're not sure about what the effects really are in terms of how easy safety really makes it. In SMT5, when you crank down the difficulty, you're not making yourself earn more XP and earn more money all the time. You're basically just making it so you take less damage, but it's still a challenging fit. So hopefully safety doesn't totally break the game, give you 10 times XP, 10 times money, and basically just makes running through the game a total cakewalk. But hey, if you just want the story to be there and you don't really want to have to worry about a challenge, because there are plenty of roadblocks in this game, safety is an option for you to play on there. So, besides the free DLC, let's talk about something a little bit more exciting. The first big, meaty DLC of SMT5 is the Return of the True Demon DLC. So, Return of True Demon is basically going to be the most kind of story-heavy content you're going to get out of all of these. This is going to access a new branch of subquest called Return of the True Demon, and in this you will be fighting all 9 of the fiends from Nocturne. So Matador, Hellbiker, White Rider, Red Rider, Black Rider, Pale Rider, Mother Harlot, Trumpeteer. You're going to be fighting all of them, and if you can fight them and recruit them, you will then be able to fight Demi-Fiend himself. So, there's been a little bit of confusion, so I'm going to break it down for you all. You can fight all of the fiends once. Once you've defeated them, you cannot repeat their boss fight, but you can recruit them. Demi-Fiend is a challenge you get to fight after beating all of the fiends. You can do that fight as many times as you want, but Demi-Fiend is not recruitable. So, all of the other fiends you fight once, recruitable. Demi-Fiend, as many times as you want. Shirtless boy with pants, not recruitable, unfortunately. So this DLC is $9.99, and from the looks of it and everything that we've kind of gotten our hands on for it, it definitely seems to be the most substantial. It's going to be a long subquest of finding all of the fiends. They're all going to have their own location, coming across them throughout the story, and the fight for Demi-Fiend is very clearly labeled, hey, this is going to be a late game content. Do not try this until you're pretty far, if not have already beaten the game yourself. So, definitely not a DLC that needs to be bought right away, but if you're looking for some something to kind of make your playthrough, or even maybe second playthrough, a little bit more interesting, this one is a high recommendation, just because they're putting all of these new recruitable fiends in. These new boss fights are going to be really interesting, and if you're just someone who is nostalgic for Nocturne, it's going to be hard to turn down a boss fight with Dimming Fiend. Next up, we have 3 DLCs I'm going to kind of bundle into one. So, there are 3 DLCs all about the Mitama. There is the Mitama Dance of XP, Mitama Dance of Miracles, and the Mitama Dance of Wealth. Each one of these DLC packs are $3 individually. And basically what it does is when you are running around the world, it increases the spawn rate for each of these certain Mitamas. One are going to be giving you more XP, more wealth, and more glory. If you don't know what glory is basically this currency you get by finding collectibles throughout the world that help you learn miracles. Miracles are something that you are able to learn new skills, make yourself more powerful, just stuff like that. So basically, all the kind of things you'd ever want to level up and grind, this paid DLC is going to increase the spawn rate and just make that experience easier. But I am going to pretty much say totally skip on this unless you're just morbidly curious. This isn't going to give you access to a new map. This isn't going to be something like Nocturne where you're running around a new area and it's just giving you a bunch of grinding stuff. This is just increasing the spawn rate for all the Mitama. So it's interesting that it's there, but the fact that it's just kind of cranking up the spawn rate for these grindable enemies that are already in the base game, because if you don't pay the DLC, you will still run across all of the Mitamas. They have their set areas they spawn in. You can always very clearly see them in the map, so it's not like these demons are exclusive to the DLC, and the game definitely gives you plenty of ways to grind glory, money, and experience. For me, I could see experience a little bit if you didn't want to crank the difficulty down, but money, there's tons of collectibles all over the place that you can sell, and glory, just search the meme on. It's super fun, you're going to have a good time. I cannot recommend any of these. Save your $9, save your $3, give it for all the other DLC that I'm going to be talking about. Now, speaking of $3 DLC, we have the Doctor's Last Wish. So, the Doctor's Last Wish is another one of those subquest missions. Once you pay the $3, you unlock the subquest, the Doctor's Last Wish, which is basically going to be a fun little side quest that you get to do, where upon completing this side quest, you will actually get the Tyrant Mephisto. So, if anyone remembers Mephisto, or has seen the trailer, or is just watching the video, Mephisto is going to be a demon who is exclusive to this DLC, and if you complete this side quest, he's recruitable, and you can mess things up with Mephisto and have a jolly good time. Speaking of other returning demons that are DLC exclusive, we have Cleopatra returning in the $3 DLC, The Rage of a Queen. So Rage of the Queen, similarly with Mephisto, you unlock a subquest, you complete the subquest, you can unlock Femme Cleopatra. Cannot recommend this design enough. It's the Doi design from Apocalypse. It looks really good in 3D, much like all of the other Doi designs have transitioned very well to Unreal Engine 4. And this is just going to be another thing of, it's a new side quest, it's an exclusive demon, they've got unique attacks, animations, all that kind of fun stuff, so that's really exciting. And one that I can see people being a little bit more split on, but I'm personally really excited about, is A Goddess in Training. This DLC is $4.99, so for $5, it's doing the same thing like Cleopatra and Mephisto. You're doing a side quest where you have to finish it, and then you will unlock the Megami Artemis. What is so special about Artemis? Why is she a whole $2 extra? This is a special new design only in this DLC and only in 5. This is not a returning demon. This is someone who is a new recruitable demon who is only available in this paid DLC. And from everything we've seen, it looks really fun. Obviously, these side quests are not going to be very long. The side quests in the game are, for the most part, hey, here's my mission, do this mission. Normally ends up being a fight. Once you do the fight, then you're done with it. But it has some normally good flavor text along the way. This one actually seems kind of fun because the mission, A Goddess in Training, you're actually accepting it from Artemis. And it just seems like a really cool character. It's another really great Doi design, and if you are a fan of Knights of the Zodiac, then you will definitely see all the inspiration in her outfit. But yeah, so these DLCs are pretty cut and dry, but are interesting once you kind of get into the grittier details about everything. The DLC demons, I think, feel less icky because they're actual side quests. They are content in the game. They're not just instantly added to your library or your compendium, which makes it feel like you've still had to earn them in a meaningful way of content, which is really nice. The Mitama, those were always going to feel pretty blah and whatever. Safety difficulty in Japanese VO, that's very much a hey, you're either going to love it, leave it, or take it. And I, again, cannot stress enough how excited I am to do the Return of the True Demon subquest, just because all of those extra boss fights, having the chance of running into all the different fiends, and just getting to experience what Timmy Fiend is going to be like in a boss fight. And if he is anything like his secret boss fight in Digital Devil Saga, he is probably going to absolutely destroy us, even at the highest of levels. So I'm really excited to see all these. Let me know what DLC you are interested in, which ones you plan on picking up. Do you plan on picking them all up at launch? Is anyone here actually getting the Digital Deluxe Edition? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any other questions about SMT5, please feel free to shoot them down in the comments below, and I will try and help answer as many of them as possible. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers before SMT5 is out, which is less than a week away. Kind of crazy. I don't know if I'll be able to make it happen, but if I could, I would be eternally grateful, and if anyone can help out or just spread the word, it would mean the world to me. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Either way, have a good rest of your day.